LCC, the liquor company, came in. There was like one man who came in, and he came into this popular city of Bend, Oregon, and he was busting all kinds of bars and restaurants that sold alcohol for all kinds of bogus reasons. And he did it to so many people in Bend, and it went through. You know, they had to close down their shop, and then, you know, several weeks after hearing about how this man destroyed so many businesses, or took so many businesses down, he was on the front page of the Oregonian, and there was a caption underneath that said, "Does anybody know this man?" or something, or like, "Can anybody identify this man? Does anybody know his name? Anything about him?" Because apparently he was like, he had the birth certificate of a young child who was murdered years ago, and social security number was stolen and everything, and it turns out he was a Russian spy. And they tried to cover the whole thing up by putting his face on the front of the Oregonian, like, "Does anybody know who this is?" But they knew exactly who he was. So I felt so weird during that time. I just felt like freaked out, just like, that's so strange. He just walked through our town so many times, you know, and nobody knew who he was. And he had like a fiance who had no idea who he really was, and it was really weird. So I wrote a weird song about it.
Flaming ashes falling from the sky, your mind is on fire.
Oh yeah, I should also include that in the high desert is where Sisters is, where I met Mitch, and it's the desert, so they do controlled burns all the time, but it's also just on fire all the time. You know, Mitch and I went back to record the album, and it was September, and all of Oregon was on fire. But when I wrote this song, it was also on fire, and it just gave it that really, really eerie feel through the whole town, because everything was just covered in smoke. You couldn't see 100 yards in front of you, and maybe it'll give you a little insight on the song,
Flaming ashes falling from the sky, your mind is on fire. Candles lit and burning faster, the skies are fiery red. Bleeding hearts won't mend your sorrows. I won't leave your door. The adversary's tempting God to fall back off his knees. I've been searching to find that he has taken all of me. Broken man, where have you traveled? All along my streets. So lock your doors and be afraid